What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Chef Zay and welcome back to the channel. You already know what the about to go down, baby. Actually, you don't know what's about to go down. Usually around this time we drop the podcast, but we're not really going to do like a full-length podcast today. I don't really have a lot of topics to go into. We talked about a lot of stuff the past couple days, and I don't really want to hop into some draft stuff yet. I haven't quite done my homework on that. And so drop some questions so I can get more topics so we can talk about more things on these episodes. So today we're kind of going to do something a little bit different. We're just going to call this like the Browns Sports Minute, the Browns Minute or something. We're just going to go over a couple quick things that I saw yesterday, some things that I want to talk about, because there's one big thing that I really want to talk about, and there's not really much to talk about when we're talking about it. I just said talk about like 18 times, but it's enough to be discussed about because it's enough to have a discussion about. Geez, I can't even talk this morning. Because, it is a high profile name, and I think you all know where we're gonna go with that. But before we get into that, let's get into something that I saw earlier yesterday. That I'm all for. I am all for. David Njoku put to his Instagram yesterday, I believe it was yesterday. Cleveland Browns, yeah, we need white helmets for show. And let me just say this, man. I love this. This is so clean. It's not doing too much. It goes exactly with what our colors are. Like, it's not changing too much. This is perfect. I am 100% okay with with the white helmet. And I actually really love that brown stripe with the brown stripe inwards and the orange on the outside. Like, I actually really like that with the white. But what we don't like, you know what we're not gonna do? This is what we're not gonna do. I will not accept this. I will not. This is a joke. This is worse than the Cleveland Browns jerseys that they switched a few years ago when they had the big Cleveland block letters on the chest with the that those were arguably the worst jerseys that the Browns have ever seen. If they ever decide to do this, I don't know. I don't know what I would do with myself because we already get the most jokes out of any team in the NFL. This looks like we're on a created team from NFL 2K5. Like, look at this colorway. This is not no Cleveland Brown. Like, what the Cleveland Mean Machines. This is something straight out of Longest Yard. Like, no, no. Like, and then you actually have fans who like this. Dear Browns, we need these blackout uni. No, we. Please, no. No. No, the fuck we don't. No, we don't. No, we absolutely. Like, I don't think. I watch every game. I commentate every game. Y'all know this. I don't know how I would do it if these were our uniforms because I can't stand looking at it. Like, I'm looking at it now and I'm just trying to find something that I like about it. And the only thing that I could pick out of this is I like how this little sleeve looks with the orange, with the white stripes, the white and brown stripes right here. But other than that, this is trash. This is absolute garbage. So let's not go there, okay? Let's keep it classic. I mean, if you want to go with something different, I'm fine with something new, just not this. On to the next. um, so which let I'm gonna talk about what I really wanted to talk about after this because it ties into it. But the Browns were hosting another NFL draft QB prospect. This is their third one that they have went to go talk to during this draft process. This one is from Fresno State. Jake, I don't even know how to say his name. Jake Haener. Um, and I'm sure everyone's already like, why? Why would we even consider wasting any draft capital on quarterbacks? And, I think it kind of ties into what I talked about on the episode yesterday with how Andrew Berry likes to have as much insurance as possible. Like, he would rather have depth in the positions that are most important than to not have it. And you look across the board on our team, and where was the depth at? Well, we had 4 running backs that could be starters Obviously, you could argue Jerome Ford being a starter. Dearness Johnson, Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, Ford. You've got 10 plus receivers on this roster. Granted, they're not all high profile names, but they all carry some talent on this team that could hold a roster spot on other NFL teams. Um, the cornerback position, you've got three studs and arguably three starters, like quarterback one starters, on your team. And obviously you don't have the depth on the defensive line, but I think that's where Andrew Berry is going to look to increase his depth, especially with the addition of Jim Schwartz, because we know how he loves his defensive linemen. So I don't think there's much to this whole quarterback prospecting during this draft process. This is exactly what Andrew Berry says that he does in uh all of his homework when it comes to what he can do to make this team better. And he's just doing all his due diligence. He's crossing all of his T's and dotting all of his I's and making sure he goes through every single position, every single coaching spot. Like, he's going through everything and he's just doing his due diligence on it. But this is pretty much tying me into what the big story is, and that's this right here. And that is this. No one was expecting to see this come out because when I saw it, I was shocked.
2 and 4 players that I will back up. I'll back up Deshaun Watson.
Cam Newton says that he will back up Deshaun Watson. Wow. I mean, you go from there ain't 32 players better than me. How do these bums keep getting jobs? To let me hop on the podcast and let me just explain to y'all what I meant, and then kicks it off with Deshaun Watson. Now, before we get into it, let's just go see what all quarterbacks.
I'm going to take this time to explain who and what situation I would want to be a backup. 2 and 4 players that I will back up. I'll back up Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields, Tua Tagovailoa, Malik Willis, C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, and Anthony Richardson, Jalen Hurts, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Sam Howell.
Those are some pretty high-profile names, if you ask me, and they all kind of have a similar style of play. They're all mobile. They all can make plays with their feet and turn something into nothing. So obviously he's looking for a situation to where it's like, okay, if a guy goes down, I can get plugged in and I can show y'all that I'm really about that. Now, him saying that he would back up Deshaun Watson, being a Cleveland fan, we love big names for some reason. And when you see a guy like Cam Newton say, I would back up Deshaun Watson, you obviously got to talk about it. And a lot of people in the comment section, in my comment section,
2 and 4.
No, it's no's across the board. For how much I love Cam living in Carolina, being a Browns fan, hell no. He's so bad. Or he's so bad. Please do it. Haters want him here because he's so bad. Hell no. Hell no. He's horrible. So obviously, a lot of people think that Cam don't have a lot in the tank. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that, yeah, you should go out and get Cam Newton, because I think you can get just as much, if not a little bit more, in Joshua Dobbs, or you obviously still have a young guy in Kellen. So it's not like you're hungry for a backup. Here's what I would say. There's only one way I would take him as my backup. Here's the check, and it is the absolute most minimum check that we can offer you as a quarterback. As an NFL vet, you're taking vet min. If you can take a little bit below vet min, which probably doesn't make sense, you got to take. That's the only way you're coming to back up Deshaun Watson. Because honestly, we don't need it. I think it could, I'm not going to say he would be a distraction, but I just think having that name, having his aura in the locker room, I just feel like it could pose a distraction, and I just don't think that Cam Newton necessarily fits the mold of of style of players that Andrew Berry would have on his team. Um, so as far as that, I don't really see Cam Newton coming to Cleveland. Um, but could I, with him naming down those players, I could see Cam Newton getting a backup position if that's where he puts his mind. Because just last week he was talking about how he ain't sit. There ain't 32 bums better than him. There ain't 32 players better than him. And now all of a sudden you're okay with taking a backup, bro. I mean, it seems to me like he's still got some it's still like some things to sort out in his mind, because I don't think he quite understands what he wants yet. I just think he wants to play football, which is fine. I mean, I think he still has enough to be on a roster, but probably not as a Cleveland Brown. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. Um, but that's pretty much all I got for today. I don't really have anything else. There wasn't too much Cleveland Browns news yesterday. So today was just kind of something to just get out, get some content out. So make sure you guys are subscribed and like. Make sure you guys are subscribed and you like the video, because hopefully tomorrow we have some more news. If not, we'll try to figure out something to talk about. If we don't got an episode tomorrow, then look for something on the weekend. So drop your questions in the comments. Anything you guys want to know, Cavs related, uh, Browns related. I haven't been watching much Guardians yet. I've been keeping up with it on the box score and stuff, but I haven't been keeping much up with it. If you guys got some Guardian questions, I'll try to answer those as well. But anywhere from Twitter to Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, drop your questions anywhere you follow me, and I'll be sure to answer them on the next podcast. So I'll catch y'all on the next one, baby. Peace. Wait. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go.